Hi, I'm Barbie. Welcome to my dream house. Oh, hi there. I was just having a meal in the diner. Okay. That's enough. All right, so anyway, she's hanging out in the diner here, but this is Brittany Vuitton, and if you missed the last episode where we actually built this diner, it was an episode dedicated fully to the 1950s. Make sure you go and check that out because it was awesome, and I'm so excited about the decades thing that I'm doing in the Barbie world now. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the 1960s today with our build. Again, if you missed this diner, go back and check it out. Seriously, it's well worth it. You should definitely check it out. So let's head over to our area where we will be building for the 1960s. So I will be discussing a few different things from the 1960s today. I actually have a lot of really cool facts and stuff like that. If you guys have noticed, I did not start out at the Barbie's Besties wall this time because I'm actually compiling some names. So again, guys, keep sharing the videos with your friends, keep liking and commenting and watching the videos and everything like that. Send me fan art if you have any, and you will definitely see your name end up on the Barbie's Besties wall. But that's why I haven't started out in this episode, because I'm compiling some names for the next round. So if you want to see your name on there, like I said, make sure you like the videos and show all of the love and support that so many of you have been showing, and you'll see your name end up on there. So let's go ahead and get into the build. So a few things to start out the conversation. This is pretty interesting. By 1965, over $100 million of Barbie merchandise had been sold, which I think is absolutely crazy, because if you remember from the last episode, if you did watch it, the first Barbie was only $3. So if the first Barbie was only $3, by 1965, I think there may have been 2 or 3 Barbies at that time. I could be wrong, but I think there might have been, yeah, there might have been 2 or 3. I should know this, but anyway, whatever. So there, at that time, there were maybe 2 or 3 Barbies. So with them only being 3 to maybe like, I don't know, $5 at that time, over $100 million. What I'm trying to say is that is a lot of money. So that is absolutely amazing. So let's see here. Barbie quickly became one of the hottest toys in the 60s. Obviously, since the release in 1959, Barbie really took off. So in the 60s, that was a big time toy. Some of the biggest fads in the 60s included afros on everyone. This is actually something I noticed from the Evolution of Barbie video that I did in The Sims 4. The second Barbie, yes, that I created in The Sims had an afro. And that's, you know, that's what I'm saying here. So afros on everyone was a huge fad in the 60s. Let's see, what else did we have here? So bell-bottom pants, which actually made a comeback in the 90s, early 2000s. I think it was the early 2000s, but bell-bottom pants, turtlenecks, tie-dye shirts. I have a few friends who still love tie-dye. Let's see, the Beatles, lava lamps, platform shoes, mood rings, and smiley faces. Smiley faces everywhere on everything, on clothing, stickers, on people's cars, like smiley faces everywhere. Such a huge thing. Okay, so let's see here. I have, to go along with the whole theme of, let's see, yeah, those are 4 wide, so I'm doing everything correctly here. I want to make sure everything is properly spaced and we have the right numbers for everything, so it looks like we're good. But anyway, I wanted to go ahead and discuss some prices, because I think it's really interesting to see what the prices of things were back then compared to now. Of course, I wasn't alive in the 60s, so I don't know what it was like, but from what it sounds like, you know, at a glance, it sounds like, whoa, we could have afforded anything back then. But we'll discuss that a little bit later. It's really interesting to find out. No, we could not have necessarily afforded a lot of things back then, because of the difference of income and stuff like that. But again, that's something we'll discuss in a little bit. So First of all, a McDonald's cheeseburger only costs 19 cents back in the 60s. Could you imagine if a cheeseburger was only 19 cents now? That would be crazy. Compared to a quarter pounder with cheese at $3.79 today. So you see a huge increase between 19 cents and $3.79. That is just crazy. Okay, this next one I think is super, super crazy. The top ticket, so the highest, the most expensive ticket price to see the Beatles in the 60s was $5.65. Could you imagine if you wanted to see like One Direction or Justin Bieber or somebody like that in concert, your favorite artist, and it was only $5.65 for a front row ticket with like backstage passes and everything? That, to me, the thought of that is so crazy. I could not imagine. So listen to this. It was only $5.65 back then, but if you wanted to see Paul McCartney today from the Beatles in concert, the most expensive ticket price to go see him today is $3,144. That blows my mind. I cannot believe it's $3,144 to see Paul McCartney today compared to the Beatles when they were at their absolute prime at $5.65. That is crazy. Okay, so this next one, the price of this has changed a lot over time, has gone up and down and up and down. Was at an all-time high just not that long ago, and is luckily going back down. But anyway, if you haven't guessed by now, it is a gallon of gas. So back in the 60s, a gallon of gas cost about 30 cents, of course, more or less, depending on where you were and what year and what moment it was. You know, gas prices, some of you know gas prices change so drastically all the time. But anyway, 30 cents compared to about $2.50 today. Of course, it was up to like $4.60 at one point. It was almost $5 for a gallon of gas at one point. But I can't believe that back then it was only 30 cents. That is not too bad. Okay, so this is something that I enjoy from time to time. A candy bar. Yes, the average candy bar back then cost, oh my goodness, 5 cents. Can you believe that? Only 5 cents. Can you imagine with your allowance, or if any of you have jobs, how many candy bars you can get if they were only 5 cents per candy bar? That is just crazy to me. So compared to about $1.50 or more or less, depending on where you are, which one you're getting today. But at only 5 cents, that to me is just crazy. Okay, so moving on to apparel. Well, I'll only discuss one apparel item, but brand new Levi jeans were only $5 back in the 60s, and today would cost around $50 or $60. That to me is crazy because I didn't even know that Levi jeans were that expensive today, but I guess brand new they would be pretty expensive. But yeah, $50 or $60 today when they were only $5 back then. Wow, that's just crazy. Okay, so this one is pretty interesting. The Ford Mustang was only $3,000, and I know to you, some of you, that sounds like a lot of money. And of course, $3,000 is not a small chunk of change. That's a good amount of money. However, if you're buying a car, especially a Ford Mustang, that is not much money at all. That is not bad. Today, the Ford Mustang can be around $30,000. So just think about the difference between $3,000 back in the 60s and $30,000 now. That is a huge jump. So like I mentioned earlier, although it sounds like we could have afforded just about anything back then, people actually made a lot less money than they do today. The average annual income for a family in the 60s was around $6,691. That's just crazy to me. An entire family working really hard, only making a little over $6,500 a year. And today, the average for a family, and to me, this even sounds like the low end, because I've heard of a lot of families making like over $100,000, but I found that the average family today makes $55,775 a year. So just think about the difference between, we're going to round up. So think about the difference between 7,000 and 56,000. And just think, like, they weren't making nearly as much as people are today. And so with those really cheap prices, it's not like, how can I put this in perspective? If somebody back then made what people are making today, yeah, they could have afforded a lot, but with that income, not so much. So I guess that's pretty much what I'm trying to say. They couldn't buy anything and everything they wanted unless they were really wealthy. So just really, really crazy to think about. So we're gonna, okay, yeah, that looks great. So basically, I'll go ahead and discuss, because I've talked a lot about the 60s, so I want to go ahead and kind of discuss what we're doing here. I have built a drive-in movie theater, which was a huge thing back in the 60s. And actually, in my hometown, close to my hometown, we still have a drive-in movie theater that I have been to once. It is so much fun. It's such an awesome experience. But I didn't realize that there are only like 250 or 300. No, actually, I think it's around 375 drive-in movie theaters left in the United States, which is super crazy. You know, there should definitely be a lot more because they're so much fun. But anyway, yeah, that's what I built today. You can see all the different spots in the parking lots, and then these little doodads here are basically the little speaker areas. So basically in the 60s, you would drive up, you would go into the spot, and then they would have these speaker things, and it would play the sound. I know now at the drive-in movie theater that I went to, you can turn your car radio to a certain channel and listen to the movie through your car and do it that way. I don't think they had that back then. I believe it was just the speaker box that you used that was next to the car to hear the movie. But anyway, straight ahead we have the really big movie screen there, which with the spots being so close, I mean, I think it's a perfect size. It's really nice. I wanted to do something that was dark enough. Unfortunately, with the black hardened clay, I believe it comes out more as brown. So in order to do black, we had to use black wool, which is okay, but it does have those lines, those visible lines. But from a distance and when the movie's on, you won't be able to see that very, very well. So anyway, if we go over to the right here, I'll show you guys what I built here. So this is going to be like a ticket area. Oh, you know what? We need to do some signs, but it's going to be ticket and concession area. So I think we'll start here with the concessions. And then I think on the side we'll put the movie tickets. So, and then let's see, they'll get some candy here, and candy is only 5 cents. So we'll go ahead and put that on there. Oops, we forgot to put candy. Okay. And the next thing is going to be popcorn for 10 cents. Okay. You guys know how difficult it is for me to like type on these signs and talk at the same time. So if I'm a little quiet until I get it done, that's why I'm trying to concentrate on this. And that's why I was messing up a little bit. But anyway, the next one we have a drink for 7 cents. I mean, guys, just pay attention to these prices. How crazy is that? Candy for only 5 cents, popcorn for 10 cents. Oh, it looks like popcorn 10 cent. Oh, I don't think that popcorn 10 cents fits on one line. No, it doesn't. Oh, no. Okay, I mean, I guess we'll just leave it. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so those are the concession prices. And then on the side, we're going to go ahead and put up a sign for the tickets, because people can also come here and get their movie tickets. Movie tickets are only $1. Tickets, $1. Okay, so back then, movie tickets were less than $1 to $1, depending on what year you were in, what movie theater you went to, and stuff like that. But for the purpose of this drive-in, I couldn't really find an accurate price for a drive-in movie theater for a whole car. So I decided to just go with the dollar price for the movie ticket. And yeah, that's a good idea. They can come over here and go ahead and buy movie tickets from this side too. So we'll go ahead and put the sign tickets $1. So that way they can go to either side, buy their tickets, and then go straight to the front and get their concessions, get their snacks, drinks, and have a good time with their movie. So I think we're about done here. Let me see. Yeah, we are about done here for our awesome 1960s episode. I'm so excited to move on to the 1970s in the next episode. Barbie looks super awesome in the concession stand, doing her thing, working it. But anyway, make sure you join me in the next episode. If you have enjoyed it, make sure you give this video a big, huge thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed. Let me know down in the comment section if you would like to be on the Barbie's Besties wall and what ideas you would like to see me put into the Barbie world. Oh, and I want to thank you guys so much for all the happy birthdays. That was super awesome. In the last video, I announced it was my birthday on May 20th. So again, thank you guys so much for all the happy birthdays and the love. You guys are super awesome. But anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Adios!